Welcome, Quiz Bowl fans.
Do you like Quiz Bowl?
No.
Okay. Well,
I don't.
What?
I like Umineko's Quiz Bowl.
do you have is there a history there? Or?
Bible Bowl.
So what I'm imagining now is like please take one bowl full of like Bibles that you could just grab one.
Yeah, I was always hoping that the Quiz Bowl would involve a bowl, and I was so sad when I was a kid that I found out that there was no bowl, and you didn't go bowling either. And just some people asked you dry trivia questions that I didn't know, and got sad when I didn't know the answer.
What was weird is that when you were describing it to me, it seems like the Bible Bowl stuff focused mostly on just like minutia and trivia rather than like what are the actual messages of the thing, which is like, does that feel like it misses the point?
To me, it really did. It felt like when I was stuck doing that, it felt like all of the questions were just about random unimportant persons or side details, and just about none of it on like the actual doctrine.
Mm-hmm.
And it felt weird because it's like, is it really helpful to me to know exactly off the top of my head what happens in this one verse of something about some guy who never gets mentioned again?
Yeah.
Does this make me holier?
Does that make you a better
better?
Christian to know that? Yeah.
Or
like,
are we just kind of in a dick-waving context about who knows the more obscure bits while everybody ignores being good to each other?
I mean, if you're fighting over like the obscure trivia, then you don't actually have to internalize any of the other stuff, right?
Yep. Anyway.
8PR, notably against Bible quiz bowls.
Anyway, Umineko is not Bible Bowl, so I will allow Ryukishi to quiz me. I won't even cry very much when I get the questions wrong.
And when the 9-year-old owns you. Okay, so a couple of things to catch up on before we start this episode, because there's a bunch of stuff we want to... other things. We did find out what the solutions to the other puzzles were.
I feel very stupid.
Yeah. So the one with... both, because we missed Maria and Rose's puzzles, right? Rose's puzzles was that the key misunderstanding was that it's how many she got out of the basement. She didn't have to survive. So she can get an extra one out of the basement, but she'll die in the explosion along with everyone else, which, lol. And for Maria's, the whole question was actually only about getting the people over, not everything else. We only had to get the people over. All of that other stuff was just extraneous and not at all related to the question, and it's just fucking why. It's 3. The answer is 3. You can get them over in 3 trips. Ugh. Anyway, we've dallied enough. I won't get into my other unhinged theories. If you're in the Discord, you know I've gone full unhinged at this point on a couple of things, so I'm not... No need to belabor it all again. After putting Angie to sleep in the parlor, Genji and the others returned. Oh, thank you. I gotta get my pad. There we go. My hand is nice and comfy now. Thanks, was she sleeping well? Yes, she is sleeping peacefully.
The noise from here won't reach the parlor, right? That's right. The door is closed, so I don't think it will reach.
Angie, sweet dreams.
Well then, that's enough solemn farewells. Let us begin the magnificent festivities we have planned for the after party.
What? The after party? When Beato clapped her hands loudly above her head, a white flash filled the hall, and its entire appearance changed in an instant. The hall had transformed into a golden party chamber with gold butterflies flitting about and gold leaf dancing everywhere.
Yes, the true party shall now begin.
Oh, you said it. All right, the anti-magic toxin is totally gone. Everyone, come on in. Party after the show's about to start. Yeah! Shing cape magic. With a burst of applause and cheering, a tornado of gold butterflies rose up in the center of the room. By the time it passed, the number of faces had grown significantly.
Hey. Let the witch of the future find happiness, and let us of the past be rewarded for our efforts, yes?
Indeed. Let us enjoy ourselves as well.
Come on, haven't we been enjoying ourselves the whole time?
In this world, the one who enjoys the most is the true winner.
Come, let's have the Seven Sisters over here too.
Yeah, all with our incredibly distinct voices from one another. The Seven Sisters of Purgatory right here. I can't believe the game's finally over. Wow. What do you think you're doing crying at the after party, you little crybaby? Lord Battler, Beatrice-sama, thank you for the invitation. I want to see 6-year-old Angie-sama's sleeping face and have it all to myself. Yeah, of course she would. I want to see the food and have it all to myself. And then I want a hot guy to have all to myself. Did you see her face just before? Did you see her face just before she got...
Why are you clinging to Battler when you say that? Stop. Thief.
Oh, well, I guess we got this far without making it a harem anime, so I guess maybe we can do that for a little bit. No, it's still weird. Yeah, no, it's definitely still weird. Nope, putting that one away.
Does it count as a harem when all the members of it exist only in your or others' heads?
I don't want to chance it. Glad to see you, Seven Sisters of Purgatory. Enjoy yourselves.
Oh, yes. Things do get much noisier the moment they enter a room.
And what's so terrible about that? In fact, it still isn't nearly noisy enough. I'm going to start screaming unless people make more noise.
Please don't.
I'm thinking about it.
I don't.
Oh, Beatrice!
But she's right there. She's right there. Another Another gold cyclone rose up. In its wake, 3 people with bunny ears came into view.
Chester Sisters Imperial Guards, right here. It's such an honor to be summoned to a gathering such as this. I haven't had nearly enough fun for it to end yet. Yeah. There, I agree with you. But fear not, for our game shall continue much longer than this.
Oh, for eternity, inside the cat box. Glad to have you here, Chester Sisters.
Lord Battler, allow me to express our deep gratitude for your invitation. In the future, we will endeavor to show even more...
Oh, come on, don't be so stiff and formal. Tonight we're all equal, right?
That's right, yeah. Battler gets it, yeah. So stop it, 420. You're getting carried away. We'll get in trouble.
Hey there, Richa. Long time no see. Wow, how long it's been since we had so many of us here?
Not since Natsuhi's trial, right? And you could hardly call that a party. If you're talking about a party, you'd better not try and leave us out of it. Dang, just how many of them are there? If they keep coming like this, there'll be more of them than us humans.
You could come out now, Sakataro.
Oh, finally! I've been on the lam for so long. No one tell the cops, all right? I'm still wanted several counties over.
Lord
Battler,
it was an honor to receive your...
invitation.
Let it be known that
this
it is an honor.
Hey, glad you came. It's been a long time. How you been? Very well, thank you.
You
Fighting with you all is always extremely...
fun
I have had enough of stamping...
documents.
Commander Delanor, know that your to-do box is piling up as we speak. Please make haste with the approval of our vacation papers. They are exceedingly important. Sounds like living in the Great Court is as boring as ever.
Lord,
Battler
I fear I must bring you some sad...
news.
Oh, what is it? Delonor held out an envelope. It was one of the invitation cards that Battler had handed out for this night's party. The name on the card was Ferudo Erica. Oh, are we not going to get to see the rat one last time? We did all that we
Good.
The invitation was filled with stamps bearing the unreadable words of various foreign countries. Even without reading them, it was easy to guess that it had been returned to sender, destination unknown. I see. Thank you for trying so hard. The depths of oblivion are like an empty, endless desert, or perhaps the bottom of the
See.
No one besides Lady Berncastle herself could find her
Location.
I did send invitations to those witches too. I'll have to hope they have the kindness to bring her along.
Lady Berncastle is just like a cat.
Yeah, I kind of got that.
She'll show up whenever she feels like it, but when she isn't in the mood, she'll never come, no matter how often you call her.
I think this is still Beato going on.
Yeah, that kid's totally like a cat. She'll come to get her food, but she won't let you pet her head.
Lambda Deltas?
Oh, wow. It was Lambda. How did we know? She's not even on screen.
Right? You wanna?
Yeah, that kid's totally like a cat. She'll come to get her food, but she won't let you pet her head. I try. About twice a day.
Oh, really? But why?
Reasons?
Lambda Delta, so you came.
Believe it or not, I'm a busy person, okay?
I don't.
Fair. Still, I am Beato's guardian. Wasn't I your guardian too? Well, anyway, I came because it's my responsibility.
Why do you sound so sad when you say that word?
Can you hear the air quotes?
I can.
I happened to be in the neighborhood, so I stopped by. Hey, you, Goda. I brought some presents. Could you just put these wherever for me?
For someone who just dropped by because she was in the neighborhood, she brought an awful lot of presents, which included colorfully wrapped bottles and food boxes. Berncastle isn't here yet, I'm sorry.
You really think she'd come?
Not with you. Boom! Got him!
Got him. Oh.
But still high five though, right?
Oh, okay.
She's not the kind of kid who just dropped by to
This is
say
my
hi.
line.
Oh, right.
She's not the kind of kid who just dropped by to say hi at a game she's lost. Probably. After all, she is very proud.
I seem to remember her putting us through hell, but she's still one of the players in this game. I thought it'd be good to have her over to celebrate the final night of the final game.
You're right. Without that kid, this game might not have reached its conclusion. Enemies and allies are the bare minimum you need for a game. And sexual tension.
What? Hey, Beato, what is sexual tension?
Just. Oh no! What have I done?
Entirely new emotions flashing across Beato's face.
Oh no! Oh man. Okay.
True. Without a foe, there can be no game. At least I can enjoy defeat as just another part of the game. That kid can't. It's too bad, but she's been through a lot. So please, don't blame her too harshly.
Actually, I was planning to thank her. A lot of crazy stuff happened, but thanks to her, we were able to make it to where we are today.
Thanks. I don't know when I'll see her next, but if I'm lucky, I'll get my chance in a few 100 years. I'll let her know what you said. Ah, that's right. They don't have invitations, but I brought 2 guests with me.
Guests? Ooh. I'm pretty sure I sent invitations to all the usual suspects, hovering my finger over the who the fuck are you button.
Come on over, you two.
Wait, no, it's gonna be... Is it gonna be Hashijo?
Maybe. I'll introduce you.
No, it's Will and Leon. Of course it's Will and Leon.
Yes!
Yes! You know what? They were in the opening. I should have guessed. When Lambda snapped her fingers, the empty air exploded and two forms appeared. Oh, if it isn't Willard.
Hey, hot sauce back as usual. I see you're short as ever.
Now, here are some unfamiliar guests. Who are they?
Ow, don't pinch my ass. God damn it.
Shouldn't we be introducing ourselves first? I'm fairly certain that Battler-kun and the others in this world don't know about us.
Oh, you have the mark of the one-winged eagle on your clothes. Are you an Ushiromiya?
My name is Ushiromiya Leon. In my world, we're cousins. I'll introduce Leon. This is the successor to the Ushiromiya family headship, born only in a world of extremely low probability. In that world, Jessica isn't an only child. She's Leon's little sister.
Oh, now there's a surprise. So there is a world like that. Radical. Yeah, I know, right? Just try not to think about it. Just like the rest of the Umineko fandom, just don't think about it.
Wait, you couldn't be. Pleased to meet you, Beatrice. I know quite a lot about you. Seeing you smiling happily is the greatest joy I can imagine. I'm as glad as anyone else that you've made it to this point. I see. So it's you. I'm glad you're here.
Beato realized who and what Leon was. The two of them stare at each other's faces as though looking at their own face in a mirror.
Willard's the name, and Pumpkin's the game. I get
What?
Hold on. I couldn't think of it off the top of my head, all right?
I've got the pinching fingers ready.
Leon, please. Honey, not right now. All right, why don't we just go get some more nachos? These are happy nachos, right? Hey, is that Chef Goda? Hey, you got any hachos over there? I'm just a passive stranger who got caught up in a game you know nothing about.
He is an inquisitor of heresy from the great court, like
Myself.
a truly skilled one, though he is now
Retired.
Well, I see. If you're Delano's friend, you can't be anyone bad. But please, make yourself at home. I like your entire vibe. It's like you're me, but cooler.
Just where did these two come from? Bern brought him in and made him pieces. When she was done with them and about to crush them, I picked them up. Ow Ow said leaving them there would leave a bad aftertaste. Is that okay? If by chance Lady Berncastle does drop by here. On this game board, they're my pieces, okay? And I can't wait to see the look on that kid's face when she bumps into him in a place like this.
I don't really get it, but you obviously brought them here for some shady reason.
That's all for my gifts. I'll just hang around for the rest. I'm leaving the rest to you, the host.
Well, all right.
Come, Lord Battler.
Well, when you say it like that.
If you don't announce it, we can't start.
no love for that. Come on. These have been pent up like the entire series. Just let me have this moment, all right?
The
start of tonight's party at the end of this long game.
Ladies and gentlemen, your silence, please. Our territory lord, Lord Battler, has a message he wishes to convey to you all.
Well, enough of that. It's embarrassing.
Come on, it's a wife's responsibility. I'm not letting anyone else take it.
Beato sulked and handed Battler a glass of champagne. Don't think of it, everyone had a glass in their hands now.
Maria, you're a kid, so drink some sparkling cider instead.
Yeah, I want the no juice.
Hey, Maria-chan, why don't we drink some sparkling cider together? Battler, our drinks are getting warm.
George not drinking alcohol, huh? All right.
Is he of age too?
I believe
How
he
old
is.
is he? I forgot
Yeah,
how
he's
old he is.
early 20s.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't know what the drinking age is in Japan, but he definitely is. Jessica in Battler would be 18, so I don't know what the drinking age is. Maybe they are, maybe they aren't.
Agreed. Begin, Battler.
No objections, I see. This way, please, Lord Battler.
Ronove motioned towards the center of the room. When Battler stepped forward, everyone silently awaited his words.
Glad you could all make it. This marks the end of my long game with Beato. I've invited everyone who's been a part of this game as a piece, a player, or a game master. Hope you'll all enjoy this unending night to the fullest.
Cheers.
Cheers!
Everyone raised their glasses to the heavens as they cheered, and afterward the soft sound of glasses clinking together rang out across the room.
And
Hey.
then I went to Umineko no Nakukoro Deed some bitches.
Hey, Battler, remember all those times I killed your whole family?
Yeah,
Best first date.
what?
Only I was apart from all that fun noise. Maybe that was what did it. Before I realized it, my cheeks were wet with tears. I was lying on the sofa, covered by a blanket. I can just barely remember getting sleepy and falling asleep in a chair. Someone probably carried me here. I can't actually hear them, but I get the feeling that everyone's still in the hall having a good time. I want to go there too. No. I will go. Over there. It's what I've wanted all along, but I never took the first step. I'll go to where everyone is. My head still feels hazy, so there aren't any complicated thoughts in my mind. But that's okay. It's okay if my head's empty. I'll be together with everyone. I'll go to where they are. That's all that matters. I got up from the sofa and put on my shoes. Let's go to where everyone is. The parlor door was shut. I tried to open it, but maybe because of my clumsiness, I couldn't get it open. It was a bit creepy, as though the bad dream I'd just had was still going on. It won't open. Why? It isn't even locked.
Won't open?
My mood grew darker and darker. The knob that locks or unlocks the door is on this side. If I twist it, I should be able to lock or unlock it. I turned it. Click. The door won't open. Did I accidentally lock it just now? I turned it. Click. The door won't open. It didn't open the last time, so it should have opened this time. I don't have a clue how I'm supposed to turn it to unlock the door. I kept on alternating between turning the lock and roughly twisting the doorknob. I began to get irritated, wondering why they'd locked me away behind such an inconvenient door. Eventually, I ran out of patience and pounded hard on the door, but that noise didn't bring anyone to me. Why am I locked up in a place like this, all alone? Everyone else is having a fun party right there in the hall. Let me out of here. At that moment, a cold wind blew past me. The wind rippled through my hair. Wind? Inside? I turned around to find the window curtain waving about. There was a sound like scraping or crying. At some point, the double window had opened outwards towards the darkness. The icy wind that came through it told me that this window was the only exit from this room. Huh? I suddenly realized that the darkness beyond the open window was glaring at me, and my heart leapt. Jingle. A cute sound rang out. I finally understood. That sound was a cat's bell. The glaring emerald eyes in the darkness were those of a cat standing in the open window. Its pitch black, luxuriant fur left only the eyes visible, blending in with the darkness easily. Did the Ushiromiya family own a cat? It has a bell on it, so it can't be a stray. It's a cat someone owns. At any rate, the cat was standing by the window and staring straight at me. Who are you? Of course, the cat didn't answer my question.
Nyan.
I didn't think it was a cute cat, but I thought it might be trying to tell me something, so I approached it slowly. As I did, the cat did an about face, turning its back to me. Then it turned its head to look at me, almost as though it was telling me to follow it. and it leapt down into the darkness, leaving the jingle of its bell behind. When I peeked out the window, I saw the cat waiting for me under the pounding rain. I finally realized. This window was the only exit out of this closed-room parlor. The cat must have come to tell me that. The longer I keep standing around here, the longer the cat will have to wait in the rain. That's no good. It'll catch cold. I climbed up onto the windowsill and went out the window. The wind was strong and the rain was cold, but I didn't get as wet as I thought I would. I might have been in the mansion's shadow. When the cat saw that I was outside, it walked along the wall of the mansion as if guiding me. It quickly disappeared into the blackness, but every now and then it would turn around and set the bell jingling to let me know it was there. Eventually, a window with light seeping out came into view. It was the window to the hall. When I peeked inside, I saw everyone having a good time.
And then I said, "Wait, you're telling me a shrimp fried this rice?"
I'm just providing some background. You can keep going. I'm trying to liven the scene a little bit.
I couldn't hear their voices, but they were all right there. Open up! Open up! I pounded on the window, but no one heard. Maybe the window was really thick, or maybe it was just noisy inside, or it might have been so dark outside that I blended in with the darkness. In any event, no matter how much I hit the window, it didn't look as though anyone noticed. By this point, my loneliness was giving way to anger. Why don't you notice me? Why did you lock me up in that room all alone? I've had enough. I'll get inside somehow and yell at everyone. When the cat realized that I'd given up knocking on the window, it led me onwards with another jingle. But just where is this cat going? I know it's following the wall of the mansion, but that's not the way to the front door. The front door might be locked. I'm sure the cat knows a way into the mansion and is leading me there. Away from the light seeping from the hall, and toward the blackness lit only dimly by the lights in the garden, the cat and I continued to walk. Then, I found it. An open window. The cat stood below it and looked between me and the window as though telling me to go inside. Thanks, kitty. I'd like to give you some milk to thank you. Won't you come with me?
Nyan.
When I walked closer to pick the cat up, it slipped away from my hands and flew into the bushes in a nearby flower bed. Then, as though it really had melted away into the darkness inside the bush, all traces of it vanished. No matter how much I strained my ears, I couldn't hear the sound of that bell. Suddenly, the wind changed directions, and the rain started to hit me fiercely. I can't stay in a place like this forever. I'll go inside. What room is this, I wonder? I climbed up onto the windowsill and entered the room. Then, the window silently shut and locked itself. Good, that saved me the trouble of doing it myself. The room was completely dark. However, as my eyes got used to the darkness, I was able to make out a few things. It was a large room. There was a long table and many chairs. It was the dining hall. Perhaps because I realized this and relaxed, it quickly became hard for me to make out details. I searched blindly along the wall for the light switch, then finally I felt a familiar shape. Wouldn't it be annoying if I pushed this and the light didn't come on? Click. In fact, it was nearly the opposite, and an annoyingly bright light filled the dining hall and made my eyes hurt. I slowly opened my tightly shut eyes, and then I saw the state the room was in. The dining hall was covered with blood. Here and there were humans lying on the floor. Then I realized that two of the people were my own parents.
Right. Yep, never mind. Well.
Hey, are you having a great time, people? If anyone's not having a good time, we're gonna eat you. Yell and sing the praises of tonight's banquet. I will eat you.
She's right. He? They? What do we go by today?
Wouldn't you like to know, Magic Boy?
I would. I really would. I don't want to be rude. The hall was alive with the mingling of humans and the magical illusions who lived on this island. At first, everyone stayed with their own groups, too nervous to mingle. However, as time passed, people started to move around, and both halves happily began to chat happily together.
But they just never listen, do they?
Leadership's important. You need to lead by example if you want anyone to follow you.
Wow, these three hanging out.
Maybe some subordinates are like that, but I've never had any success with ordinary methods. Anyway, you're done for if your subordinates don't take you seriously. It's important to scold people loudly, even for small mistakes, every once in a while, in front of everyone else.
That
I'm a
explains
shitty boss.
so much about.
Oh, you can't do that. That'll just make everyone scared. A leader has to be an example for everyone to follow. If you really want to be a leader, which is why I'm not a leader, you shouldn't follow my example, kids. Always pay your taxes. Wink. Why do we do this to Sakataro? I'm so sorry, dude. Everyone listened intently to the Vegeta Lion's theory on leadership.
This was after several rounds of drinks had gone by, and everyone was unnaturally focused on the conversation.
Kyrie, why don't you get stronger the more jealous you are?
Don't make it sound so bad. If I want something, I won't let it slip away. I always put that theory into practice. There's nothing more to it.
Thank you for waiting, everyone. Even more food is on the way. Oh, but bonding in on the family party like this? Yeah, well, I hate to admit it, every movement of his is flawless. Oh, I want to be him. Just what sort of hotel did he train at?
Too bad Runaway Summer just happens to be totally perfect. But I still love Go to More. This one's been cooked just right.
Yeah. You know me. In the kitchen, I cannot be defeated.
The seven sisters had blended into the party perfectly, and they were making things interesting.
Many great mysteries are called masterpieces despite being shut down by Von Doom's 20 rules.
Not like I'm trying to shut down anything. Mystery novels exist for the sake of your own amusement, right? If you have fun, that's all that matters.
Know that even the great wizard hunting rite has gone quite soft.
Whether it's literature or forms of amusement, generally accepted rules change with the times. It must be the same with the mystery novels, yes.
Everyone chimed in on Will's theory of mystery novels. There was no shortage of things to talk about.
Yeah, that is a fitting attitude for a beginner. However, at that rate, you'll never become a key player in your organization.
But know that the regulations are always to be enforced.
That's something for newbies to do. Don't forget that regulations and rules are pretty much guidelines for the new guys who don't know any better.
Yeah, you said it. You can't really call yourself an adult until you learn how to move outside the rules, right? You're still a kid if you let the rules hold you back.
Laws are imaginary.
Oh, really? You mean it?
Unfortunately, the IRS is very real.
Oh, I didn't even know they worked in Japan.
I can't stand letting other people do the work. I'm Mammon of Greed. I'll do all the jobs myself. That's some spirit you've got there. How much are they paying you for being a sister of purgatory? Come get a job at my husband's business instead. I'll recommend you personally.
The humans and the illusions were now very much on casual terms.
I see. So this is how it's done in the world of witches. Yeah, you've got it, Nya. Where we come from, you pour the tea onto the saucer, press your palms on the table, and slurp it up like a dog, Nya.
420, what are you teaching her?
Awesome things.
What the hell are you teaching her? Who does that? And Natsuhi, what do you think you're doing getting tricked like that and at your age?
Get away from her, Satan. How can you be so rude to Natsuhi-san?
I didn't do it.
Huh? Why are you crying, Satan? Was I too hard on you?
I didn't do it.
Oh, Leon giving out the butt pinches.
Chester 420-san, please stop giving my pure and trusting mother such crazy ideas. Don't worry, it won't leave a mark. Long.
Yeah, I was gonna say. It does leave a mark, but it doesn't leave any visible marks, but like you feel it. When you sit down a couple hours later, you're like, ugh, you've mastered that art.
420 started yelling about animal abuse, jumping around in circles and holding her butt.
I wonder if there's a prince out there for me. I want to have some hot, passionate love. If I fell in love, could I become a beautiful princess too?
Of course. Love is a miracle, a power, a mineral. It grants you invincible strength, like vitamin D. And calcium.
Gotta keep those bones strong, yeah. Haha. Is that the person who once claimed that love equals lust, I hear?
Indeed. It would seem she's getting her fill every night.
Ooh, got him.
Shut up, you perverts.
Got him.
Got him.
The circle surrounding Beato was always a lively one.
Yeah, I know how you feel. It's only when we're given orders that we find meaning to our lives, right?
I get nervous when I don't have any orders. Someone order me to do something or I'll die. You can't have that attitude. You gotta find your own meaning for your life. Cut your own path. That's right. Your resolve has to be certain and absolute, okay? Back when I was human, I lived like a daredevil all the time.
She used to be human?
Funny that.
A bit shakily, Lambda Delta started talking about her theory of life. Apparently, she'd also had her fair share of champagne.
What a bizarre scene.
Yeah, I guess so. Glanor-sama, would you like some more to drink?
Something non-alcoholic. After all, I am a literal child.
Why did they let you kill people?
I don't know. I think it's an anime thing.
Oh, Shannon-chan, will do. Do you have a second? Battler came back into the hall. He was searching for a servant, and the first one his eyes met was Shannon.
Of course, Battler-sama. Do you need something?
Sorry, but would you mind lending me the key to the parlor?
The parlor? I can get you in with a master key, but why?
Well, I was just wondering if Angie was asleep, so I went over there. The door was locked.
Locked? After we carried Angie-sama to the sofa, we shut the door, but we didn't lock it.
No, don't tell me that Angie. She honestly felt like she was being left out of the fun and locked the door from inside in a huff. Silly kid.
Yeah, that's probably what happened.
And definitely not
Definitely.
Bern Castle saying she won't let him have his happy ending, right?
Shall we unlock it then?
Yeah, if you don't mind. Sorry about the trouble. Battler and Shannon left the hall together. In the hall, Lambda Delta started suggesting that they all have another quiz tournament together. Apparently, the Witch of Certainty would be handing out prizes. Everyone seemed enthusiastic about the idea of having another quiz tournament.
I'm all aboard.
Smiling contentedly at the ensuing uproar, Battler headed towards the parlor and away from the quiz tournament.
More quizzes, more quizzes.
But no.
It really is locked. Shall I open it?
Oh, she was sleeping, so I didn't knock at the door, but if she's locked it, that proves she woke up, right? Let's try knocking just once. Battler knocked on the door and called Angie's name. However, there was no response from the other side. He pressed his ear against the door, listening carefully, but there was no hint of Angie unhappily throwing a cushion at it. She might have fallen asleep again after having her little tantrum. Could you open it for me?
As you wish.
Shannon took out her master key and unlocked the door. Then she stepped back to let Battler go through. Angie, I'm coming in. Speaking in a quiet voice to avoid waking Angie if she was asleep, Battler opened the door. Then just as the door was opened, a chilly breeze drifted by. The breeze, which felt like outside air, immediately caught the attention of the pair, and they looked at each other. It could be seen at a glance that Angie wasn't in the parlor. The curtains on the wide-open window fluttered about. Angie? Angie? A blanket lay crumpled up on the sofa. It sat there just as Angie had left it after waking up. The blanket was slightly warm. Clearly she had been here until a short while ago.
Angie-sama, are you there?
She obviously wasn't playing hide and seek. Angie was nowhere to be seen in the parlor. Battler peered out the open window into the rainy blackness, so she slipped out the window in this rain and went... Where?
Do you think Angie-sama might have gone out the window?
Oh, that would make her one hell of a sleepwalker. She couldn't have left from the main entrance, so she probably doesn't have an umbrella. It's very hard to imagine a reason Angie might have for going outside in this weather. I have a bad feeling about this. This shouldn't be happening. I'm the game master of this board, after all. So why are we in a situation that the game master can't understand? A large bolt of lightning lit up the surrounding area for an instant. A large bolt of lightning lit up the surrounding area for an instant, but I was unable to see any trace of Angie.
Okay, now it's my turn to think of a question. Okay, so you have a third of a cake, a quarter of a cake, and a fifth of a cake, all on a plate. It takes 30 minutes to eat one whole cake, so how much is left on the plate when you've finished eating?
It depends. How long until the cops arrive?
Also, the answer is none, because you're done. Obviously. At that moment, there was a roar of thunder and the lights flickered. The cheery voices vanished in an instant like candles being blown out.
It's gonna be Bern Castle.
None. That's a riddle you were tricked with once, isn't it? Amidst the silence, one voice rang out and answered Lambda's riddle. Sup, fuckers.
I finally called it, who the correct voice
You
was
did.
for once. I never get it right.
The crowd parted, and the form of a girl, a 1,000-year-old witch, came into view. She had been invited, after all. She was an official guest holding an invitation to this party. Sorry I'm late. I was busy planning some festivities to liven up the party. As Berncastle spoke, she looked around at everyone. Oh, and I thought you two were rotting away in the fragment sea.
They're my pieces now. Pretty cool, right?
Huh.
Praise me.
You want me to be impressed or something? She stared at Leon and Will with an unnerving smile on her face, but she seemed to lose interest. Where's Battler? And Beato? I'm a guest, aren't I? Isn't there anyone to welcome me in? Oh, hello, I'm here.
We did invite you, but I didn't expect you to actually come. I see. This must truly be a miracle.
Now that's an interesting way of putting it. Why'd everyone get so quiet all of a sudden? This is a party, right? Go ahead and be noisy just for the hell of it. Or is you welcoming me with silence part of some kind of joke? Well, now it's your turn. My turn for what? You asked where Battler was, so I told you I was here. Now it's your turn.
What are you talking about? Did something happen?
Angie is gone. Even I, the game master, don't know where she went.
That's insane. Isn't this your game? That doesn't make sense. If Angie disappearing isn't a scenario created by Battler, that means there must be another game master. Is that even possible?
Oh yeah. I was surprised myself. Just when I opened up the game board to start a delightful game of my own, I found that Battler had started up this bizarre game at the same time. I never thought I'd be in a game with two game masters. Well, in other words, you're admitting that you hid Angie away somewhere.
It would seem so. After all, no one could introduce a scenario you didn't build, except another game master. So, this is one of those festivities to liven up the party that you mentioned?
You all looked like you were having a blast with that quiz tournament, so I decided I wanted to join in.
And you chose to hold Angie hostage for that purpose?
You've got it. Battler, Beato, I want to challenge you to a game, alright?
You cannot refuse. Not if you treasure Angie as a little sister, that is. What do you want? Lambda and I made a bet about this game between you and Beato. I must acknowledge that I've lost. At least that I've lost to Lambda.
Bern tries to act all dry, but she's way more persistent than she looks. So, you're saying you lost to me, but not to Battler and Beato?
It seemed as though Berncastle might smile. However, she didn't. Those cold eyes spoke without words. Battler understood. He had played so many games against Beato. Those games had been a wordless message from Beato, so he knew. He understood. She wants to fight us. Is that it?
She will be a fearsome opponent.
We can't back out now.
I know that. We mustn't let Angie become Lady Berncastle's plaything.
Beato understood as well. She understood why Berncastle was asking for one final battle.
I never thought I'd see Bern fighting openly like this.
Do you find that funny?
Why would I?
Thanks. Lambda Delta understood as well. Before the tale of Battler and Beato ended, before everything was locked away in the cat box, Berncastle would finally move from the audience to the stage. That witch who had hidden off to the side of the stage, unwilling to come out into the light, would now show that she had the courage to step forward onto the stage itself. As a friend, Lambda Delta showed that she understood Berncastle's human emotions, which had given her this courage.
Is there anything I can do?
Please act as an observer for my game.
Hot drink? Back rub?
Just the observer is fine.
Okay, sure.
Why? What were those?
If you promise that you'll release Angie if we take part in your game, that is. Of course, without such a promise, we aren't obligated to go along with this farce in any way.
You may not know me anything, but you'll never see Angie again.
In that case, you can enjoy being branded as a loser for the next few centuries.
Beato, don't provoke her, please. This isn't a fight that we can back down from.
Indeed.
Now that a hostage had been taken, their ability to negotiate had disappeared. However, Lambda Delta was agreeing to become an observer if that would make Berncastle promise to release Angie. Unless she held Berncastle to a promise like that, the latter would have nothing to lose. To make this final fight, Berncastle wanted a proper one. Lambda Delta made her agree to this. Of course, Lambda. I promise. When the game ends, I'll release Angie.
Don't make a fool of me, okay? When I get shamed, I never let go of the one who did it until they regret it.
What? Why does that sound different coming from you? Lambda Delta.
I wonder.
I like your little Lambda giggle. You're like, Lambda Delta spoke in a soft, threatening tone. However, Berncastle laughed lightly as though the look on Lambda Delta's face was merely cute. I swear it. I swear it on our friendship. Lambda Delta whistled and grinned. Apparently this was the most reliable oath Berncastle could utter.
Okay.
Lambda Delta nodded, looked between Battler and Berncastle, and spoke.
By the name of Lambda Delta, Witch of Certainty, I accept the role of observer for your fight. Battler, Beato, you have no objections, right?
Battler and Beato nodded at each other, then nodded at Lambda Delta to show their determination. I'm so glad. You finally get to fight each other. I had a feeling I'd end up fighting you sooner or later. Since when? I'm not really sure, actually. It might have been before I even learned your name. Battler vaguely remembered her speaking to him, somewhere in an unconscious world he couldn't recall. At the time, it had sounded like she was giving him advice for his fight with Beato. But thinking back on it, there was a bit more to it than that. She might have been a cat fighting from the sidelines, too scared to go out into the bright sunlight. So I had a vague premonition that eventually we would stand opposed to each other on the game board in some way. She was also one of the players. Now at the very end, as the game board is being put away, she's finally found the courage to step up onto the stage. I'd like to accept your brave challenge. In the name of that courageous girl who was once your piece. I forced Erica to fight a duel. I wanted to win. And even more strongly, I didn't want to lose. The fear of possibly tasting defeat tormented me. And thinking back on it, I envied you two back then. Erica was a great piece of yours, and my rival.
I won't forgive you for abandoning her in the end and burying her in the depths of oblivion.
Just what do you want me to do? Apologize to her?
Save Erica from the depths of oblivion and invite her to this party.
Save Erica?
I feel the same as Battler. She was a piece who stood in opposition to us, but she was only faithfully fulfilling her role. There can be no game without a rival. She remains our enemy, but she's also an important friend to us. Everyone has that one
Really?
narc friend.
Really? The fucking rat. You want the rat. That's what you want?
Yeah, we
Yeah, how
want
about
the
you there in
rat.
the audience? Does everyone want the rat? Even though
want-
she...
We want the rat.
Even though she's made you suffer so much?
Well, we fought a fair fight. The outcome may have changed our fates, but now that we've dueled each other, we'll always be friends.
You want to be their friend too, don't you, Bern? That's why you want a fair fight with them now, isn't it?
Are you laughing at me?
Only a little. We aren't.
On the contrary, we welcome it.
Even though I've taken a hostage?
If you didn't, you probably wouldn't have been able to come up on the stage, right?
There had been no need to take a hostage. Battler and Beato had been more than willing to accept this final duel if Berncastle wished it. It was hard to make out anything from Berncastle's silent expression. Fine.
What's fine?
I'll release Erica from the depths.
I'm glad you decided to do this.
For someone as proud as Berncastle, forgiving the piece who had caused her defeat should have been nearly unbearable. Battler knew this, so he realized how much of this bit of compassion had cost Berncastle. Berncastle snapped her fingers, and a black cat slipped out of her shadow. I tossed her all the way into the deepest parts of oblivion. It might take her a while to get here, though.
It matters not. There's no danger of the food and drink running out.
Go, kitty. Guide that kid here, okay? When she gave this order, the cat melted into the darkness, its bell jingling.
I can hardly believe that you'd forgive Erica.
I don't plan on forgiving her. So she's not my piece anymore. Anyone feel like picking her up? After all, you already picked up Leon and Will.
Oh, Berncastle, you have my thanks.
Okay, enough with the sentimentality. I've already had as much as I can bear.
Sure. Where will we have the game? As far as I care, we could have it here with all the noise or in the usual quiet spot.
Lady Berncastle has already shown that she has the courage to stand before a great many people. There is no point in making her suffer any longer.
Oh, good point. Then let's go to the usual place.
Any objections, Bern?
None.
Sorry, partygoers. We'll be heading out for a bit, but please continue to enjoy yourselves. Zepar, Furfur, liven this place up. When Erica gets here, let's have everyone give her a warm welcome.
Yes, Lady Lambda Delta. Your wish is our command.
Now then, let us take her to the usual room, a fitting place for our battle of wits.
When Battler snapped his fingers, a space shattered. Oh, I thought it was the end of the chapter.
Me too. Brief panic moment.
They were now in the smoking room of the witches, the place where witches had once debated, schemed, and reasoned all they could.
Smoke 'em if you got 'em. That's what the room is for.
Oh, okay. I don't actually know what this is. Did someone order the rolled up constitutions of overthrown island nations?
If you get that reference, then you're... I was going to say cultured, but no, you're absolutely the opposite of cultured. Berncastle had been invited there once again, and the final game would now begin.
Oh, do you have a game prepared?
Oh. Wow.
Wow, I can't believe I sounded like fucking Beato for a moment. Good fucking God. Okay, of course. I worked hard on this game, and I'm pretty proud of it.
You said hard on.
I...
So, Bern will be the game master and Battler and Beato will be the players?
But neither of... Do we... You know what? Fuck it. I don't care.
I'm interested to see what sort of scenario Lady Berncastle develops.
We'll explain things with the blue truth, and you'll knock those down with the red truth. We okay with those rules?
My game will be a simpler one. It's just a quiz of guessing the culprit. I don't feel like trading red and blue with you.
Oh, what kind of game will that be? Would you mind letting me have a look at it first?
Berncastle held her palm upwards, and a palely glowing fragment appeared there. Lambda Delta brushed it with her hand and shut her eyes.
Wow, spoilers!
You don't have to say it whenever you're looking at it. See? It's a simple game, isn't it?
You're right. It's much more straightforward than the mind games these two played in the past. This isn't even a game about witches and humans anymore.
That's right. This is a game about humans.
What a surprise! The game Bern created to combat Beato's fantasy is a genuine mystery.
Please explain.
It's extremely simple. You'll watch the tale Bern has prepared for you. There are several rules to it, but if you follow them as you read it through, it'll lead you to a single truth. In other words, an answer.
So it's an ordinary mystery novel?
I see. In that case, there's no need for combat between red and blue truth.
In Beato's games, the argument had been about whether the story was a mystery or not. However, Berncastle's game was a mystery. There was no need to argue over that from the start. I've even cut out the motive in the tricks. There's only one question I'm asking you. Who done it?
What a simple yet fitting game to conclude our fight.
Yeah, no cheap tricks, just a stoically simple game.
This is a genuine duel. As the observer, I'll say this. This game is made to be solvable. In other words, I guarantee that it's a suitable setting for your duel. Bern, I know I keep on saying this, but are you really sure? Battler and Beato's relationship started because they both loved mystery. I agree it's a pretty tricky scenario, but I'm not sure it'll be enough to stop these two.
If my best tale can't stop them, then what comes will come.
That's what she said.
What is with you?
I know, right?
Are you
The important thing is that Lady Berncastle put everything she had into this game.
You're right. Will that be enough to stump us? That's all this simple game is about. Thank you, Lambda. Thanks to you, we know that this duel will be a fair fight.
You're welcome. I'm happy too. It'll be an honor to witness Bern fighting this precious fight. I am also honored to have you as an opponent.
Same here. I underestimated you. And I did it without even stepping onto the battlefield with you. Just thinking about it makes me want to vomit. So, let me fight.
Indeed. Show us what you've got.
If I win, I'll be able to look down on you for real this time. And if I lose, I'll surely be reminded of the emotion I know I've forgotten.
Indeed.
Berncastle, whether you end up winning or losing, I promise you one thing. And what's that? When this duel is over, we'll be friends. Enough of that, please. The sentimentality is literally killing me. Lambda clapped her hands. A pleasant sound rang out.
Will you be the reader, Bern? Or shall I do that?
I don't need a reader.
Huh?
A reader Miko can use her own voice to embellish or distort the tale. Even if there was no cheap trickery in my game, by having a reader, any amount of trickery could be added.
Yes, that is true. That's another of the Game Master's privileges.
I want to have a straightforward duel with you. So I don't need a reader. You can read this tale with your own eyes and ears.
Are you sure? That means you've lost almost all of your advantages.
Understood. You don't need a reader. We'll read the tale ourselves.
If there is no reader, does that mean there will be absolutely no falsehoods contained in the narrated text?
We're ready, Berncastle. A showdown over a genuine mystery without any cheap tricks. If you're going to play fair and square, we'll challenge you head on too. Thank you. And I don't plan on losing either.
No. That's no good, Lady Bern.
Huh? She's right.
If you're a witch challenging us with a mystery, you can't have an attitude like that. Yeah, it's all useless.
Berncastle, realizing what Battler and Beato were asking for, snorted. Lambda Delta nodded at her, telling her to enjoy this final duel to the fullest.
What were you expecting? A happy mystery chat between humans and witches? Come on, don't make me laugh. Let's see if your cheery mysteries are any match for the one that I've prepared. Let's see what you've got.
We wouldn't have it any other way. Yes, we'll accept your challenge, Lady Berncastle, Witch of Miracles.
All right, time to start. I, Game Master Ushiromi Battler, and Beatrice, the Endless Witch, will be your opponents. Don't start crying when we wipe the floor with you. Take this. Here is my mystery.
I brought popcorn, BT Dubs.
Oh, can I have some of that?
Yeah.
Got a kernel stuck in my... Oh, it's right in my tooth net. I can't get it out with my tongue and... Anyone bring any floss with them? Anyone have any floss? I need dental floss.
Berncastle took a fragment containing the game and smashed it against the table, shattering it with a brilliant light as the game scenario laid itself out. The curtain rose on the mystery Berncastle had created. Just gonna go right into it without a chapter break. No sound of that, but the falling rain filled the room.
This is probably back to Angie.
Yep.
It covered the tragic scene in the bloody dining hall. At some point, Angie had fainted and fallen to the floor. Now her consciousness was slowly returning, forcing her to remember what had happened in this room. So she reflexively averted her gaze even before the memory overtook her. 6 bodies lay in the blood-stained dining hall. Strangely enough, as her consciousness returned bit by bit, the terrifying scene before her seemed somehow less intense. This time, Angie was able to look at the 6 corpses well enough to make out who they were. First, those are my own parents. They're a pitiful sight, colored bright red by a bloody makeup.
Do you mind if I just real quick, Vertigo, memory overtook her, bodies. Okay, so I'm just double checking something that we haven't learned anything about the nature of the body yet.
Do we need to take notes for this? Is this the mystery being presented?
I have to imagine that it is.
Okay.
I don't know what notes we'd wanna.
I mean, who died?
Yep.
And so on. So I'm just gonna keep track of it real quick. Sorry for the delay while I fire up my
That's
fucking
fine.
1,000,000-page Umineko Notion document database. Uncle Hideyoshi, the uncle who always says funny things and makes me laugh. And Aunt Ava, the aunt who seems to be so fond of me. Genji-san, the servant, is lying over there.
All right, so that's 5.
And the one lying right here is Aunt Rosa.
Okay, so she used lying to describe Genji and Rosa.
So that's a different 6 than any of the first Twilights so far. And it's 6, so it could be a first Twilight.
She hasn't said any of them are dead, but just that they're all lying there and are colored red by bloody makeup. Got it. Wait, if there are no lies and if this is literal, then... Well, I guess they're corpses. I guess literal and rhetorical flourish need to...
Yeah, and language is always.
Yeah, I
non-literal.
know. 6 people.
6 people. A full 6 people had their lives taken from them and are lying in this room. Maybe I cried myself out before I fell unconscious. The scene before me was still terribly painful, but I was somehow able to look at it without losing my head. I'd already felt all the sadness I could at my parents' deaths. The next emotion that rose up inside me was a desire to check and see that everyone else was okay. In that instant, I heard a scraping sound. Just as I was about to relax again, thinking I must have imagined it, I heard the same sound again. It was probably coming from the door. Someone was clawing at the door from the outside. Of course... Of course, I had no way of knowing who it was. However, for some reason, I was sure it was that black cat scratching at the door. The black cat was telling me to leave this room. I understood and put my hand on the doorknob. Huh? I immediately noticed something odd. The door was locked. The same bad feeling I'd felt after being locked in the parlor crawled up my spine. However, unlike the time in the parlor, this door unlocked itself easily when I turned the knob. I unlocked
so the
it
door-
and slowly opened the door.
The door, one of the doors leading out of the, I don't know if there are more than one door in here, but one of the doors is indeed, was locked. The door leading into,
Wherever we're headed. But the window was open.
Yep.
Maybe. She did say it closed itself as she walked in, and that was before the beginning of this here, so maybe not, but we'll know what door it is when we go to it. Beyond the door, I could see the dimly lit hallway and a cat dashing down it away from me. Then it stopped, its emerald eyes glittering in the darkness as though it was waiting for me to follow. The hallway was dark and wrapped in an eerie silence. When the black cat saw that I was coming, it walked forwards as if guiding me. I could hear nothing except the creaking of the floor, the bell of the cat, and the sound of the storm outside. The party is being held in the hall. I should be able to hear at least a little bit of the noise from this hallway. Maybe it got really late when I was unconscious in the dining hall. It was a reasonable conclusion. Then we finally reached the main hall. The hall was frigid, and no trace of that party remained. Could all of that fun have been just an illusion? The black cat's bell rang out. When I looked up, I saw that it had its feet on the stairway to the second floor, urging me to follow it. Are you going to the second floor? The black cat seemed to nod, then silently went up the stairs. Guests were allowed to go wherever they wanted on the first floor, but the second floor was Krause's family's house, and I remembered getting in trouble for trying to go up there. However, at the moment, I couldn't think of any options other than following that cat.
So now on the second floor, okay.
I walked along the dark hallway with the black cat. Eventually, we reached one of the doors. The black cat scratched at the door, then turned to look at me. It must have been telling me to open it. Okay, I'll open it for you. I put my hand on the doorknob and felt the resistance of a lock again. This door is locked. I turned around to tell the cat this, but inexplicably, a single key lay right in front of the cat. Angie, picked it up and stuck it in the keyhole. As she did, she finally noticed something strange with her fingertips. Blood. Somehow, Angie's fingertips had been stained red with blood. She let out a short cry and the key slipped out and fell to the ground. She finally realized. In the darkness, she hadn't noticed before. The black cat's key was covered with blood. The emotions that had gone numb in Angie sprang back. A terrified scream rang out through the dark hallway. Even so, Angie would eventually open that door. That door led to Natsuhi's room. Natsuhi's room was a terrible mess. Blankets and sheets were torn. Cosmetics and books lay all over the place, as though a typhoon had just ripped through
So
it.
someone was looking for something. Okay.
And there were corpses. Krause and Natsuhi's corpses lay sprawled on the floor. Very shortly, Angie will step into this room. She will then scream in terror once more. And it isn't limited to the dining hall in Natsuhi's room.
Okay.
In the stormy rose garden, Shannon's tragic corpse lies exposed. Let's take a moment for me to take notes.
Okay.
So that's Krause and Natsuhi in the dining hall.
No.
Not dining hall in Natsuki's room. See, this is what happens when
Dining
I get
hall
ahead of
was
myself.
dining hall was the first couple. Was the first 6.
Yeah, Kraus and Natsuki in Natsuki's room, which is locked with a key covered in blood outside the door and the room in disarray. Shannon is
In the Rose Garden.
Shannon in the Rose Garden.
Partway down the path to the Rose Garden is Jessica's corpse.
Jessica, partway down Rose Garden path. When Angie finds that, she'll probably dash crying and screaming into the guest house. And death awaits her inside the guest house as well. Just inside the front door is Nanjo's corpse. Okay, front, just inside guest house, front door. Okay. In the servant room nearby, even Goda and Kumasawa lie dead. Goda, Kumasawa, servant room. The total number of corpses is 13. A full 13 corpses are waiting for
Does that
Angie.
match up?
Let's see, we got 6 in the first room, 2 in the second, that's 8. Then we've got Shannon is 9, Jessica is 10.
Nanjo's 11.
11, Goda and Kumasawa is 13. Yep.
Okay, so who's left?
Who is left?
Battler,
Battler's
George.
left. George is left.
Maria,
George, Maria,
Goda,
Goda,
Cannon, depending on how we want to count that.
Cannon.
I believe that's...
Did we account for all the adults? Let's see, we had Rose.
Kinzo, depending on status.
Okay.
So Kinzo and Cannon with heavy asterisks next to them, right?
Okay. Okay. Yeah,
So-
I can't think of anything else we're missing off the top of my head.
Brad.
They wait in the mansion in the guest house on this desolate Rokkenjima for Angie, exposed to the wind and rain and tormented by thunder, to find them.
Shannon in the Rose Garden, huh? Well, we know what she usually does in the Rose Garden at night.
Yeah.
Not looking all good for old Georgie boy
Who's
here
still
now.
alive for some
Who's
reason.
still alive, huh? Hey, babe, George, how ya?
I wonder what's happening at...
I wonder what next time will be.
Yeah.
There's no way to know what the next time will be.
Smash that like, comment and subscribe.